Immediately after leaving the special detention center, the released politician Yevgeny Roizman boldly declared, "Every person who was born in Russia should be mentally prepared to serve time. Of course, I won't leave, and that's all you need to know about the Zoni and Sovkopithek mentality. It doesn't matter, for what and how much, but you will have to sit, or guard, or maybe you will guard, and then you will sit down. It's a cave, baby. Here they sit on mops, bottles and cookies. There is even an opposition movement, seated Rus, either under the rack, or on its knees." Mikhail Simonov, 63, wrote 2 short texts about the war on social networks. First, "Killing Children and Women, We Sing Songs on Channel 1. We, Russia, have become atheists. Forgive us, Lord," and the second, "Russian pilots are bombing children." This was enough to get 7 years in prison. Russia should not be a permanent member of the UN Security Council, said U.S. Ambassador to the organization Linda Thomas Greenfield. The reason is the endless war crimes in Ukraine. Nevertheless, from April 1, Russia will become the chairman of the Security Council for a whole month, and its permanent representative, the bald devil Nebenzya, will receive the authority to convene, open and conduct meetings, and sign the documents adopted by the Security Council. The UN Security Council for a whole month will be controlled by the Russian fascists. Does the world really need such a League of Nations -2? So far, the only organization that has set fire to the tails of the rat house is the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Already, even in Armenia, a process has begun that can lead the country to membership in the International Criminal Court, which means that Putin will be arrested immediately on a warrant issued by The Hague, as soon as he sets foot on Armenian soil. Moscow and its stable will already hysteria, threatening extremely negative consequences if Yerevan joins the Rome Statute. But the most terrible independent American court for politicians has already announced 30 counts of charges against ex-US President Donald Trump, after which he carried nonsense about the witch hunt. Something similar was already held in Russia in the early 90s, when it smelled of lustration of red evil spirits. At that time, lustration was not carried out in Russia, and bandits seized power, merging in ecstasy with the Chekists. It seems that the states do not want to experiment with Trump a second time, testing their luck under Donnie's populist speeches. However, everything is just beginning, and the Republicans promise to launch an investigation, although many of them agree that the United States has an independent judiciary. Indeed, unlike in Russia, where everything is decided by a call from above or by repressive system settings, in the United States, the court has no motive to just imprison a person, especially the ex-president of the country. And in Russia, according to Shoigu's general staff, there are no plans for a new wave of mobilization, so from April 1, without any jokes, summonses will be sent to Russians in electronic form. New technologies are stepping through the cave, but their development always ends in the same way, with the sound of hammers in the cemetery. It's as if the whole world is up in arms against the hard-nosed. Argentina began to massively expel Russians after the influx of thousands of pregnant tourists. The Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates canceled the license of MTS Bank due to U.S. sanctions. Indonesia, following Thailand, decided to extradite the Russians. Now even there you can't hide from the mobilization curse, and only patriotic deputies of the Legislative Assembly of the Chelyabinsk region proposed to the State Duma to amend the criminal code so that criminals do not go to jail, but go to atone for their guilt in the trenches. Americans, follow the progressive trends of the cave. Give the Chekists your beloved Trump, he will still fight near Bakhmut, fanning his red hair with the glory of Wagner PMC. The Turkish parliament ratified the protocol on Finland's accession to NATO after it was approved last week by Hungary, which the Russian Foreign Ministry immediately added to the list of unfriendly countries. Now Finland's accession to NATO has been approved by all members of the alliance. There are no more obstacles. Putin, rehearsing his scenario for starting a nuclear war this week, is retuning his missiles. He had only 2 state secrets left: the number of cannibals and the true state of the nuclear arsenal. Will it fly or won't it fly? And how high can the bar for nuclear blackmail be raised? After all, Somewhere there is a ceiling in this matter, and the tower is torn apart, both by Kim and by Comrade Xi, who announced that China is preparing for war. So whether humanity wants it or not, the red-brown assholes who crawled into the 21st century from the 20th century will still have to decide something. Unless, of course, humanity does not want some handsome sledgehammer Nebenzya to become the president of the post-nuclear world.